Hi, am I on the air?
Yep.
Fuck.
Thanks.
We interrupt our program to bring you a special broadcast.
Is this thing on? I said shots to Nick and Dawn. Him on the air radio every Sunday night, man. What up? Red Dragons. Shout out to the boy Nick. I see you done. You about to witness the real talk, real talk. Put it in your ear. We reaching for the sky, but we put it in the air. Not a glass jar, but I tell it to you clear. Hammer on the air, we rock. Here's your whip, man. Hammer on the air, here's this mic here for nothing. My demographic pull dude box office numbers. Weekend review said we #1 getters. Now y'all all here, we're #1 getters. Turn it on, Nick and Dawn. And I'm like, turn it up, what the fuck, We air it wear it out, and we winning. Him on the air, follow back, and we trending. You can't tell me what I bet not be. Don't give a FCK about the FCC. I'm the head for the hellish, voice for the voices. Him on the air Sunday night, and I'm off this.
Am I on the air? Oh yeah. It is June 30th, and I am back with a brand new edition of Am I on the Air? I am your host, Don Mega, and welcome back to the show. It's been a little bit. It's been a couple weeks since we've had a regularly scheduled program. Tonight wouldn't even be a regularly scheduled program because it's a Monday night. As y'all know, I usually do this on a Sunday night. Did not manage to get a new episode out last night because I worked this past weekend, and I was working at 5 in the morning, and just quite frankly was just exhausted and could not even fathom trying to do a show last night. So I figured, I'll do it Monday night, get everybody caught up to speed, and we'll be good to go. So the last episode we did of the regular show was Wi-Fi. That was the last episode, and it was on about 15 days ago. It was on June 15th. And so since then, we have done a couple new Am I Still on the Airs. So if you haven't caught them yet, I highly recommend you check them out. The first one of Am I Still on the Air was for 22 Jump Street. And remember, the Am I Still on the Airs are spoiler-filled movie reviews. Since the movie reviews I do here are spoiler-free, Am I Still on the Air is the spoiler-filled ones. So if you want to hear about a movie in its entirety, that's what you want to listen to. So did 22 Jump Street spoiler review, and then just this past Saturday, 2 days ago, did a very big Transformers Age of Extinction spoiler review. And the Transformers one went about 2 hours. And both the 22 Jump Street and the Transformers shows, I am joined by For My Peoples on Twitter and Geeky Pat, who does This Week with the Geek over here on Red Dragons Radio. So two very special guests. I love talking movies with these two guys. And so, all these Am I Still on the Airs that we've been doing have just been a blast. And Transformers is one that we just absolutely loved, all three of us, and, so we just talked and talked and talked about it, and there's a big 2-hour episode of Am I Still on the Air that you can check out for Transformers Age of Extinction, as well as 22 Jump Street if you haven't heard that one yet. Just go to amiontheair.com and then click on the Am I Still on the Air tab. You can find the Am I Still on the Air episodes on Red Dragons Radio as well. So, of course, tonight's big movie review will be Transformers Age of Extinction, the spoiler-free review here on our regularly scheduled program. So, once again, welcome to the show. Tonight is Season 8, Episode 20. Tonight's show is called Hand Me My Alien Gun. Alrighty. So, of course, we'll be talking Transformers, and then after that, we'll be talking about all of the news in the last 15 days, getting you up to speed. I'll try to rapid fire through a lot of it so we don't go extra long, because I'm still exhausted from working this weekend, so I don't want to run too far over our normal hour that we usually do for the show. So got double the news and try to squeeze it in the same amount of time. So let's get started and talking our movie review. Of course, Transformers Age of Extinction, the fourth movie for the Transformers franchise. I've been so excited for this film. I am, of course, this is my jam right here. These movies are some of my favorites. The first Transformers film is one of my all-time favorite movies ever. And I love this franchise. I love Michael Bay as a director. There's no better action director out there that really knows how to blow shit up and really, quite frankly, fuck shit up. And the guy just has a visual style that just goes so well with movies like Transformers. I was excited that Mark Wahlberg was joining the cast. I loved everything I've seen from this. Now, if you listen to our show where we counted down the most anticipated movies of the summer, Transformers was at the top of my list for that. So, I'm super, super stoked. And so we saw it on Thursday night, went to the very first showing in town in IMAX 3D, and once again, I just gotta say, I loved this movie. And it's funny because I actually just went and saw it again earlier today, so I've seen this film twice now. I saw it in IMAX again today, and I gotta say, I loved it even more the second time. I've been thinking about this because I felt the same way when I saw X-Men Days of Future Past. I enjoyed the movie a lot more the second go-round, and I'm starting to think that maybe it's just because my expectations are so through the roof the first time I see the movie that maybe I like it, but I don't enjoy it as much as I think I will because of all the hype. And then when I see the movie the second time, it's like I can just go in and I can just watch it because I've already seen the film, and I kind of watch it in more of a relaxed state, and therefore I get more of an enjoyment out of it. Because I exactly had that same thing with X-Men Days of Future Past. I think maybe even Winter Soldier, but definitely with Transformers, man. I love this movie. I loved it on Thursday night, but I really loved it when I came out of it today. This film takes place about 4 years after the third film, Dark of the Moon. It kind of has the closest ties to that film, where basically they're still talking about the fallout from the Chicago War, and they're saying that the aliens, the Transformers, the Autobots, the Decepticons are no longer considered our friends, and there's this new military task force that's out to basically take down all of the robots. Kelsey Grammer's in this film, and he plays he works for the CIA, and he's like the dirty CIA agent that just wants, he's like one of those bad guys that's like, doesn't really come off, he comes off as a bad guy, but like, he wouldn't know he's a bad guy because he feels like he's doing what he wants to do, for the better of the world. He's one of those type of bad guys. And, Stanley Tucci's in this movie, and he plays like this Bill Gates type inventor, who creates this thing called Transformium, which is made of metal that's kind of like the Transformer metal. So he tries to make man-made, Transformers, and it's a really cool concept that they do with that, where they create Galvatron out of the man-made stuff, and of course, all the Autobots are being hunted, and Mark Wahlberg finds Optimus injured as that old truck that you see in the trailer. He helps try to fix him up, and of course, all hell breaks loose, and then the ride goes on from there. So that's pretty much your spoiler-filled, free review. A lot goes on. They introduce a lot of new Autobots. You got Hound, voiced by John Goodman. You have now I'm spacing the damn name. There's like a samurai Autobot who's voiced by Ken Watanabe. There's another Autobot called Crosshairs. He's really, really cool. He's like this green Corvette, and when he transforms, it's like the way the Corvette kind of lays on his robot body. It looks like a trench coat, and it was really, really cool seeing that. Bumblebee, of course, is back. Everything was so good in this, and of course the Dinobots. I'm going to warn you kind of right now with Dinobots. I know some people have vented some kind of concern about, the Dinobots, aren't in the movie enough. And I kind of related it to Godzilla. If you've seen Godzilla, you know that they kind of waited till the last half hour of the movie to really unveil Godzilla, and so they kind of built up that anticipation, and then that was your payoff. They kind of do the same thing here with the Dinobots. You don't really see them until the final, last half hour of the movie. But it was okay. Honestly, the first time I watched the movie, I kind of almost forgot about the Dinobots because I was so just kind of intrigued of everything else that was going on. So when they did come on screen, I was like, oh yeah. And, and then when I watched it the second time, I just kind of had that much more appreciation for those characters because they're badass. They're so badass. And nothing will ever top the scene of Optimus riding Grimlock into battle. I mean, it's a really, really cool scene. And the visuals in this movie are just so top notch. And the way they did the Dinobots in this is definitely introduced them. They're on Earth now, and moving forward into the future movies, I think there's a lot more that we could do with the Dinobots. So yeah, visually stunning. The action is amazing. This movie does run about 2 hours and 45 minutes. So you're seeing a lot of complaints on the fact that the movie's too long. For me, this didn't bug me whatsoever. I mean, I didn't feel like this was almost a 3-hour movie at all. Even seeing it the second go around, like the movie kind of moved faster to me the second time, and so that didn't bug me at all. If you read some of these critic reviews, you'll see that the critics are just smashing this movie. And we talked a lot about this on the Am I Still in the Air episode, because it really just bugs me that critics are so nitpicky when it comes to a movie like Transformers. I mean, this movie is not setting out to try to win any Oscars or anything like that. You don't go for the story for Transformers. You go to see Transformers fighting and kicking the shit out of other robots. And, you go for the visuals, you go for the awesome action, and that's what you get out of this movie. Plain and simple. It delivers on all fronts when you go in and you kind of shut your brain off and you just enjoy it for being the big popcorn action flick that it's meant to be. So I'm glad that I can review movies in this kind of limelight, because I'm tired of critics not being able to make that distinction between, a fun popcorn flick and then something that's trying to take itself too seriously. If you complain that there's too much action in a Transformers movie, then you should stop being a critic, because that's just insane to even hear, because that's what we want in these films is action, great action, and that's what you get. The rumor mill has that Transformers 5 has already been greenlit, and it's coming in a couple years in 2016. If that's true, I'm super, super stoked to see where they go next. No word yet if Michael Bay will return to direct, but he probably will, just because this movie has already made over $300 million in literally 3 days. So it's also the biggest debut in America of the year, hitting $100 million in its debut. And of course, we'll get to the box office later, but this ties in with what we're talking about. And they really killed it on this one, man. I loved it. It's not my favorite of the bunch. I would rank the movies part 1, and then this one, and then the third one, and then the second one. So I would go 1, 4, 3, 2. But this is right up there. I can't explain how much I enjoyed this film, and I don't want to rant about it, because there's a 2-hour spoiler review you can go listen to if you want to check that out and really hear us kind of dig into this franchise. But for me, Transformers Age of Extinction, I gave 5 out of 5. It was, it gave me everything I wanted. When I rank a movie, I rank it based on, did it give me what I wanted? Is there anything that was really missing here? And there really wasn't. I got a kick-ass, I liked the story. I got a kick-ass story. I had some great acting in it, some great characters. I had a badass Optimus Prime. I had Dinobots. I had Decepticons. I had, man-made Transformers. I had badass visuals. I had awesome 3D. I had Mark Wahlberg added to it. Mark Wahlberg's one of my favorite actors going today. Nicola Peltz, who plays Mark Wahlberg's daughter in the movie, is super smoking hot. I mean, this movie gave me everything I wanted. So how can you rank it anything less? So 5 out of 5 for me on Transformers Age of Extinction. Alrighty, my friends, let's flip gears and let's get into the news of the week and rock and roll here. Get you caught up to speed in the world of TV, music, and movies, okay? First up, Frank Grillo, who played Crossbones in Captain America the Winter Soldier. You're going to see him next in The Purge 2 Anarchy. He has confirmed that he'll be coming back for Captain America 3, and he will also be starring in the Raid US remake. So I'm excited to see the Raid US remake. The Raid is a great action film, but it's a foreign film, and I like when they're remade into American films. And from what I'm reading, the Raid will carry over all that violence and the action and everything that made the foreign film so great. And I think Frank Grillo is a good guy to kind of put into that mix. So very happy to hear that they'll be returning. That he'll be doing the Raid remake, and that he'll be returning as Crossbones in Captain America 3. Because in The Winter Soldier, he wasn't Crossbones yet. He was the character before he becomes Crossbones. And you saw what happened to his character, if you've seen the movie, which I'm sure you have by now. It's been out for months. Alright, let's talk Amazing Spider-Man 2. DVD and Blu-ray has been revealed. You will be able to watch the film digitally on August 5th, and it will be available on DVD and Blu-ray on August 19th. So, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I know one person picking that up will probably be For My Peoples, who loved Spider-Man 2. Even though I had my qualms with it. Just kind of on a side note, For My Peoples is going to be launching his own show here on Red Dragons Radio. His show will be called The People's Forum, and he'll be kind of bringing up different TV shows, games, movies, stuff like that, and then having a show kind of almost in a debate fashion of just a discussion. It's a forum to discuss that piece of media for the week. And I know one episode he wants to get into, especially with me, is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So I'm excited to do that. I'll be jumping on and joining him on his show when he gets that up and running, and we'll be doing that Spider-Man 2 People's Forum. So look for that here coming soon. He wanted to do an Am I Still on the Air on it, but I feel it's a little late. We missed the boat on that one, so we'll just discuss it on the People's Forum. X-Men Apocalypse writer Simon Kinberg says that Apocalypse will take place in the early 80s, which is something we pretty much knew was confirmed already, because X-Men First Class was the 60s, Days of Future Past was the 70s, and then now Apocalypse will be in the 80s. Alright, so we know Harrison Ford got hurt while filming on the new Star Wars film. At first they said that it was his ankle, then they said that it was a little bit worse than that, and then it ended up turning out that he broke his leg. And supposedly it was just like the Millennium Falcon door fell on him, and I hate to laugh, but it just shows how old Harrison Ford is right now, that a door fell on him and broke his leg. So there's been a lot of rumors and everything going back and forth about what's going to happen to Star Wars. The rumor is that he will miss about 2 months worth of work on shooting. A lot of people are saying that this is going to cause them to rewrite script points. Different actors are going to have to step up and try to take places of roles that he's, scenes that he was supposed to do. Can't do anymore. There was a report that came out the other day saying that J.J. Abrams asked to push the film to May 2016, but the president of Disney said, nope, you better stick to that December 2015 date, and shot it down. So there's so much going on right now. I don't really feel that a lot of it's true. It's his foot. There's a lot of flying and different scenes that they could film with Harrison from the waist up. And if they need him to be running or something like that, they could always use a body double. So I'm sorry, I'm going to take a drink here real quick. Alright. With movie making these days, there's a lot that they can do. I mean, they're making Fast 7 right now with a CGI'd face Paul Walker. We can get around Harrison Ford having a broken leg. So I don't think it's really going to push the film back as much as they're acting like it will. On top of that, films are, they're directed out of sequence, so I feel like there's other scenes and stuff that they can do around Harrison Ford, and they can just get out of the way, and then when Harrison's better, they'll film those scenes. But we'll see. We'll keep you up to date with what ends up going on with that. But yes, Harrison Ford officially on the shelf for a couple months due to his broken leg. Teresa Palmer has joined the Point Break reboot, so that's cool. I like her. We have posted the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes viral video. This is a pretty cool little viral video. You can watch it on our Facebook page and our Twitter. It just kind of ties what's been going down between the first movie to the second. We have the new Red Band trailer for Let's Be Cops. So definitely check that out. And I want to shout out our trailer page on our official website. If you go to amiontheair.com and you click on movie trailers, you can see all the latest trailers right there in one place. So you don't have to go searching for them through our Facebook or Twitter page. You just go to our website, amiontheair.com, click on trailers, and you can watch all the major trailers that we talk about. I don't post every single one that we do on the social media pages, but if it's a decent one and it's a pretty decently big movie, it'll be on our website. So especially like this Let's Be Cops new Red Band trailer, so good. All right. So since the last show, Zendaya Coleman had been hired to play Aaliyah in a new Lifetime biopic film. That was a couple weeks ago. And then as of yesterday, she's off the project. So I would have been reporting she joined it, and now I have to report that she's off the project. So she says it just wasn't coming together, and it wasn't going to be as faithful to Aaliyah and everything that they wanted it to be, so she had to back out. She says if they get the script straight and they straighten out all the issues, she would love to come back and play the role, but everything needs to be perfect for her to do it. Ron Perlman is on a personal mission to try to get Hellboy 3 made. He says, "I'll never stop trying." So, go get him, Ron. You know, I'm not a fan of the Hellboy movies. I didn't like 1 and I didn't like 2, so I could care less if they make part 3, but Ron Perlman definitely wants it. Let's see here. Tracy Morgan is doing better. We reported, that he was in critical condition a couple weeks ago from a car accident. His condition has been upgraded to fair, and he's been doing really well in the hospital. So that's very, very good to hear. Toon Network has revived the Powerpuff Girls. It's funny, when we posted that article on the Facebook page, it got a lot of likes. And I was like, really? There's that many fans for the Powerpuff Girls? Resident Evil 6. There's no official release date for this film yet, although it looks like it'll probably be 2016. But Resident Evil 6 is tentatively titled The Final Chapter. This makes sense. I always felt like this next film was going to be the last one, and that's what they're setting it up to be. So, I like the Resident Evil movies, but it's definitely time to put it to bed. So, I'd like the sound of The Final Chapter. All right, what else do we got? We have the new Everything Wrong With, and it's for Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. We also have Everything Wrong With Transformers Dark of the Moon. So, they always like to put out videos of the movies that are hitting theaters, and so that's why he did the other 2 Transformers films. Definitely interesting. We have the official international trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy, and this is a really good trailer. A lot of people are saying this is the best trailer they've done. It's just too bad it's an international trailer and you'll never see this one play on American screens. But it is a really, really good trailer, and it kind of gives you a different tone and aspect of the film. A lot of new footage used in this also. A lot more Rocket and a joke with Groot. And I love this trailer, so definitely check out the international trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy. Also got the release of The Expendables 3, the very first official trailer. There was 2 teaser trailers before this that didn't really do anything. This is the first official, full-length trailer that gives us dialogue and kind of an idea where they're going with the story. And this looks awesome. I mean, I like the Expendables film, and I've been like, cool, part 3's coming out, but I wasn't like, oh my god, about it. And then I saw this trailer, and now I'm super, super stoked, because it looks really, really good. So I'm definitely very high on that. So next year, NBC is going to be bringing back the show Heroes, and they're going to be doing a mini-series, like a 12-episode mini-series. And they announced that they're bringing back Jack Coleman, who'll reprise his role as HRG. If you ever watched Heroes, he was the guy that kind of went around and found all of the people with abilities, and he was kind of bad in the beginning parts of the show, then he became good. Real awesome guy to and I think this makes sense to bring him back, even if nobody else comes back. HRG is somebody that I think will tie the series together very well, so I'm super stoked on that. So I don't know if it was the last show or maybe two shows ago, but I talked about the rumored DC movie list, and there's still been no confirmation from Warner Brothers on it. But Kevin Smith is in really well with Warner Brothers, and he knows a lot about comic book films. And he actually said on his podcast that that rumored DC lineup is the real deal, and that he has seen proof at Warner Brothers that that is going down. So I still don't feel we'll know anything 100% until Comic-Con, but as far as Kevin Smith says, this is good to go, and it's coming. So cool to hear. Mark Ruffalo says that Marvel is once again considering the idea of a Hulk solo film. So that is really cool to hear. A lot of people want a Hulk solo film after seeing the Avengers. He's the only character that hasn't really had another movie come out since, and he says that nothing is guaranteed, and Marvel is just kind of tossing some ideas around. But he said after Avengers, he talked to them about doing a solo film, and Marvel said, we're just not in a place for it right now. And he says, at least at this moment, they're saying, let's look at some potentially good ideas for it. So it's cool to hear, because I think Mark Ruffalo definitely deserves to have his own Hulk film. So Will Smith was going to do a movie called Brilliance, and he actually dropped out a couple weeks ago. And then Jared Leto stepped in, and he was in final negotiations to join the film. Well, that is changing again, as Jared Leto has now officially dropped out of the running and has passed on the project. I feel, and this is just my speculation, but there was rumors a couple weeks back that Jared Leto was in talks with Marvel to do Doctor Strange. Then we started hearing like, oh, that's not true, and Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Hardy are the main leads for Doctor Strange. I'm still holding on to the Jared Leto thing, because I think he fits the billing a little bit better, and I feel like he dropped out of these talks for Brilliance because it was going to conflict with him doing Doctor Strange. So he's staying available for Doctor Strange. That's just my idea. We'll see what happens with it. They might be saving that for Comic-Con, but I just my idea for it. I hope he's Doctor Strange. That'd be cool. So there's a new movie coming out around Christmas called Paddington. Of course, it's based on Paddington Bear, and Colin Firth, Academy Award-winning Colin Firth, had done the movie, he does the voice for Paddington, and he was done. He was done filming, he was done doing the voice, and then they watched the movie back, and he realized, my voice just does not belong to this bear. So, unfortunately, he actually had to drop out of the project, and himself and the movie's director came out and said, even with all the hard work and everything we put into this film, we've realized that the bear just doesn't have Colin's voice. So they're looking for someone new to step in and re-record all the lines for the bear, but Colin Firth will no longer be voicing Paddington, so I'm sure that kind of sucks to put in all that time and energy and effort into doing, a movie like that, and then just dropping out at the very last minute. Kind of crazy, but at least they realized it wasn't what was best for the film, and they just kind of gave us something that wasn't good. So I'm proud of the studio for doing that. Warner Brothers is considering rebooting Scooby-Doo, and that's for the live-action franchise. So it's been a while since they've done a live-action Scooby-Doo, and they're looking to do it again. So we'll see what happens with that. I got nothing more to say about it. Let's see. Doctor Who Season 7 is now available to stream on Netflix. Nickelodeon has greenlit Season 4 of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We posted the first photo released of Jamie Dornan as Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey. Don't get too excited, the picture's pretty lame. It's just him sitting in a car looking like a stalker. So, Harry Potter Diagon Alley opens at Universal Studios Orlando July 8th. So, a little bit of side news there from that. Sheen is going to star in Netflix's new Jane Fonda Lily Tomlin comedy. three-way biopic picture is getting put together, and Ice Cube has hired his son to play him in the biopic film Straight Outta Compton. So I know that that's pissed off some people because they're like, how dare they get a non-actor to be in this movie? It's a movie based on NWA, and Dr. Dre and Ice Cube have casting privileges. They're executive producers, they have that control, and if Ice Cube wants to put his son in, then let Ice Cube put his son in. I'm not going to argue about it. ABC has renewed Extreme Weight Loss for a 5th season. Showtime has ordered Cameron Crowe's new rock comedy pilot, Roadies. The next Jason Bourne movie has been delayed until 2016. It was supposed to come out in 2015. And they pushed it back to work on the script a little bit more. Some rumors state that the reason they pushed it back was so Matt Damon could come back. But so far, the studio has kind of shot down those rumors and said that's not true. We just want to work a little bit more on the script and get this, nice and tight. So who knows what to believe? I think it'd be great to bring Matt Damon back into this franchise. I would like to see Jeremy Renner play off of Matt Damon's Jason Bourne. I think we still get that someday. I just don't know if it's going to be this day. But either way, the movie isn't coming out in 2015 anymore. It's now 2016. Right. Sorry, I'm just scanning through. I'm skipping some unnecessary stuff that we don't need to talk about. Oh, got the new final trailer for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Oh, it's such a good trailer. If you haven't seen the latest and final trailer for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, please go to amiontheair.com, click on the trailers page, and watch it. It is awesome. I'm so stoked for this movie. It is the next big release coming out in July. And early word on this film is that this is the film of the summer. I don't know if I'll feel like it's the film for the summer, but I'm super, super stoked on it because I'm a big fan of Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That movie was a big, pleasant surprise for me when it came out. I didn't think I was going to like it very much, and that was a 5-star movie for me. I loved it. And Dawn, all the early reviews are saying 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, the best movie of the year, best movie of the summer. They're just saying it's so, so good, and so all these early word is getting me super pumped for it because this last trailer was just amazing. Apes on horses. Apes on horses. The official release date, kind of backtracking again, I'm sorry, on the next Jason Bourne movie. Oh, it was not. Let me take that back. Not Jason Bourne movie, but Bourne movie starring Jeremy Renner is going to be July 15th, 2016, just to give you that exact date. July 15th, 2016 for that. Scheduled to be released in 2016 so far is Transformers 5, G.I. Joe 3, and Beverly Hills Cop 4, all slated for 2016. Ken Jeong is going to star in a new Steve Carell produced comedy called International Incident. So I feel like this is going to probably be a big clusterfuck, but I like Ken Jeong and I love Steve Carell, so I'm willing to give it a shot. Chelsea Handler, we've known for a while that she's done. Her E! Show is over. I believe August is the end of that show. She has been talking with a lot of people of where she's going to go next. And then we finally got the news that Chelsea Handler is going to be doing a late night show on Netflix. Yes, she's going digital. She's going on demand, and she'll be joining Netflix to do her new late night show. So congratulations to her. Lifetime is going to be doing the unauthorized story of Saved by the Bell. It's going to be a TV movie. I definitely got to check this out. I love Saved by the Bell as a kid, and I would love to see what they end up doing with this unauthorized movie. Let's see where they take it. I'm so excited. On a trailer report, the biggest trailer on the web right now is Dumb and Dumber 2. Dumb and Dumber 2 has crushed its competition with over 24 million views already since its release. So, damn, that is amazing. We have the new trailer for the movie called The Wedding Ringer. This is a new movie starring Kevin Hart and Kelly Cuoco. I like Kevin Hart a lot, but this Wedding Ringer movie looks pretty shitty. It looks like a straight-to-video movie. And who knows, maybe it'll turn out to be a straight-to-video movie, but it looks pretty shitty. We do have the first official trailer for the movie called The Judge. This is the new Robert Downey Jr. Movie, where, of course, he plays a lawyer. And it looks really, really good. So this will be one, I think it comes out in October or November, and it looks pretty outstanding, so check out the trailer for The Judge. AMC has picked up the show Better Call Saul for Season 2 already, even though Season 1 hasn't even started yet. And while they picked it up for a Season 2, they've pushed back Season 1 to 2015. So it's a little bit confusing because the show was supposed to come out later this year. They bump it to 2015, but then they give an early renewal for a Season 2. I don't know. I just feel like that's a consolation prize when it comes down to it. We have all of the winners of the 4th Annual Critics' Choice Television Awards, so you can check that link out on the Facebook page. This was big news that came out. Rian Johnson, who last directed Looper, he has been hired to write and direct Star Wars Episode 8. He is also supposedly going to he's going to write Star Wars Episode 9. Some early rumors were coming out saying that he was going to direct Episode 9 also, but they've been shot down since, saying that he's just going to write it. So very, very cool. I was a little shocked when this news came out because I thought for sure that J.J. Abrams was just going to take this franchise. I thought he was going to do this whole trilogy, honestly. And I'm just shocked that he's only going to do Episode 7. And then Episode 8 will be handed off to a totally different director. So, but it's a good director. This guy knows sci-fi. He knows what he's doing. He's a big fan of Star Wars. And I think he's going to take what JJ did and just continue to run with it. So, very big news there from the Star Wars camp. Rian Johnson set to direct and write Star Wars Episode 8. We have the new Red Band trailer for Sex Tape. It's pretty damn funny. Rosario Dawson has been signed on, and she will start in Netflix's Daredevil show. This makes me excited because I'm super stoked for the Daredevil TV show from Marvel, and I love Rosario Dawson, and she's a great addition to anything, so I'm glad that she'll be joining Daredevil. Legendary Entertainment is going to be adapting the Dead Rising video game for a show on the show. I don't know if it's going to be a show or a movie, but it's going to be for the app Crackle. So it's not something that's going to be in theaters, but they're going to be doing it on Crackle. Storage Wars star Dan Dotson has been hospitalized. It looks like he had some kind of a aneurysm. So best wishes to him. Oh, and also on the rumor mill is that the new Batman solo movie is scheduled for 2019. This seems like it's really far away, but honestly, if you kind of take a look at the schedule, 2016 is going to be Batman v Superman. 2017 is going to be Justice League. 2018 is supposedly Man of Steel 2, which would then put us at 2019, which would make sense for a Batman solo movie. Plus if you think about it, 2016 is Batman v Superman, but that's going to be just as much a Batman movie as it is a Superman film. So it would make sense that you wait, about 3 years and then put out another one. So, yeah, I know it's just listed as a rumor for right now, but it makes sense, logistically. So take that for what it is. 2019. Some Bourne news. We already talked about that. Last week's box office, since we didn't do a show, Think Like a Man 2 was the number 1 film in America. Jersey Boys also came out, and that was number 4 out of the top 10. Just to kind of give you that. It barely beat 22 Jump Street in its second week. When Think Like a Man 2 came out, it made $30 million, and 22 Jump Street did $29 million. So close. We've released some pictures and some details on Wonder Woman's outfit for Batman v Superman. Not set photos, but there's supposedly they leaked what the outfit's going to look like in the film, which they're saying is kind of like Princess Warrior style. She's going to have like the blue spangled skirt with the red type top. She'll have a cape. She'll have a shield. She'll have swords. You know, of course, her lasso. Based on the design they're talking about, it sounds pretty cool. I like it, and it definitely sounds like something that would fit in that movie universe. So, if you'd like to read the details on that, you can, of course, always check that stuff out on the Facebook and the Twitter page. This was interesting, I thought. This article came out saying that Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End is the most expensive film of all time. I never knew that. It actually was more expensive than like Avatar and all these other movies, man. Pirates of the Caribbean, jeez. Moving on. Hansel and Gretel 2, Witch Hunters. Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters 2 is going to be coming in 2016. I like the first one. It's cheesy, but it's cheesy fun goodness. We have the new trailer for The Purge Anarchy. You can check that trailer out over on amionair.com. Rumor mill has it that Sylvester Stallone is going to be returning as Rambo in Rambo 5. I'll be totally up for this, to be honest with you. Rambo 4 was a pleasant surprise. It was brutal, it was hardcore action, and it was pretty damn awesome. And if this is true and he's going to do a fifth one, let's do it, baby. As long as he keeps it like this and he doesn't try to make it PG-13, I would love to see Rambo 5. Nathan Fillion has been confirmed to have a cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy, so that's pretty cool. He's a name that comes up all the time, man. My brother-in-law, every time a new superhero movie gets announced, he's like, you know who could play that? Nathan Fillion. That guy's name gets dropped like no tomorrow, so I think it's pretty cool to see that he's going to be doing a little cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy. This was an interesting news, too, kind of on a side note, that Kelsey Grammer actually pursued his Beast cameo in X-Men Days of Future Past, and he wants to return again. So, spoiler alert, I hate to break it to you, but yes, Kelsey Grammer had a very quick little cameo at the end of Days of Future Past, and the article says that he actually reached out to Bryan Singer and said, you know, I want to do the movie. Can I cameo? Can I do something? And they set up that scene at the end of the movie. And then he says, you know, if they have room to do the original cast in like a future scene again or anything like that, he would love to return as Beast. So I liked him as Beast a lot. He was a casting thing that I remember when they did X-Men The Last Stand, and I read Kelsey Grammer as Beast. I was like, get the fuck out of here. This dude is not Beast. And then I saw Last Stand, and he was awesome as Beast. So he made me eat my words, and I was really happy to see his little cameo in Days of Future Past. So I would love to see him return as Beast in future films. And he was a great bad guy in Age of Extinction, the new Transformers as well. He plays it very well. AMC has renewed Turn for a second season. I don't even know what Turn is, but that's been renewed. TNT's new show, The Last Ship, set sail with 5.3 million viewers in its debut. It was the biggest cable debut of the year. So congratulations, executive produced by Michael Bay. So he's having a great year with Transformers, and then now The Last Ship. I watched this, and it was pretty good. You know, it doesn't seem like a show that can continue to go on. It feels more like a miniseries to me, and that would just, you know, I don't see how they can keep a show like this going. But the pilot was enjoyable. The second episode was on tonight, or it was on last night, I should say. I keep thinking it's Sunday. Second episode aired last night. Got it on the DVR. Just haven't watched it yet. But first one was great. And speaking of TV shows, I don't know if I mentioned it here on the show, and I was thinking about this the other day, and I really do want to mention it. There's a new comedy on NBC. It's called Undateable. And this show is absolutely freaking hilarious. I love Undateable, and I've been meaning to shout it out here on the show since we talk about TV and everything. I hope that this show gets renewed. It's one of these filler shows that, of course, NBC, the season's over, all the shows are done, basically. They kind of just threw the show out on TV out of nowhere. And I saw the commercial and I was like, undateable. One of the main guys in it is Chris D'Elia. I forget how to pronounce his last name. The dude is a stand-up comic and he's freaking hilarious. And he was on the show Whitney last season, and I really liked Whitney. And he was one of the best parts about that show. So when I saw in the preview he was on this show, I was like, oh, I'm definitely giving it a shot just for him. And I'm glad I did, because this show is awesome. And it's got a core cast of about 5 or 6 people, and it's one of those ensemble shows that everybody's really, really funny and has a good role. It's a little concept show, but it just has such good humor, and it makes me laugh my ass off. And they show 2 new episodes every single Thursday on NBC, so it's like they're trying to just burn through all these episodes. It's actually doing pretty decent in the ratings, so I don't think NBC was expecting that, and so they might be in a little bit of a shock. And I hope that they're like, oh damn, the show did pretty good, let's keep it going. Because I would hate to see it canceled. I feel like it's in a death spot, like they just didn't care, and that's why it's on Thursdays randomly right here in the middle of the summer. But if it keeps up its ratings, I hope that NBC continues it going, because it's awesome. So definitely check out Undateable, Thursday nights, NBC. Steven Soderbergh has a new show called The Girlfriend Experience. That is going to be on the channel Stars. So you can check out Stars for that when that is released. The producer of the Transformers series says that the new movie may not launch a new trilogy, and that they're taking it one film at a time. This is all well and good for them to say, but I feel like they're trying to launch a new trilogy out of it. In the box office milestone of the last couple weeks, Maleficent crossed the $500 million mark, and that is also Angelina Jolie's best of her career. Gordon Ramsay, who I love from Hell's Kitchen and Kitchen Nightmares and Hotel Hell and MasterChef and MasterChef Junior, Gordon Ramsay's one of those guys that just doesn't ever sleep. He is actually retiring Kitchen Nightmares. He will not be doing Kitchen Nightmares anymore. So this bums me out. I love Kitchen Nightmares, and I'm like, oh man, that sucks. And he's not going to do the UK or the United States versions. So he is officially retiring that show. But knowing Gordon Ramsay, give it a year or two, he'll bring it back probably. We also have the list of the Daytime Emmy Award winners, so you can check that out on the Facebook and the Twitter page. The Walking Dead Season 4 is going to be released on DVD and Blu-ray on August 26th. Jerry Bruckheimer says that Pirates of the Caribbean 5 will begin filming in 2015. Of course, Pirates of the Caribbean is called Dead Men Tell No Tales. So, slated to begin filming in 2015. Mr. Freeze could be a character that's being brought to the Gotham TV show that's going to be coming on Fox this season, so that'll be cool. He's not listed as of now being a part of the show, but the producers say they have an idea for his character and they would like to add him to it, so that's cool. We have an honest trailer for Forrest Gump that you can check out. Got the newest, latest, and greatest official trailer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I really like this trailer. You know, this was a movie that I was kind of like, about, and the more and more trailers I see for it, the more and more I'm getting excited. I think it looks really, really good, and this third trailer definitely sold me on this new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so check out that new trailer. Another new Everything Wrong With, this time it's Chronicle in 8 minutes or less. Really loved Chronicle. Big news came out a couple days ago that they're going to be doing a new Predator film, and that Iron Man 3 director Shane Black is going to be writing and directing the film. This was an interesting news that came out because when they released this info, it said that it was going to be a new reboot. And then Shane Black came out and he said it's not going to be a reboot, but it's going to actually be a sequel. He says that this universe just has such rich mythology and everything going for it, and he says it would just be a damn shame to try to start all over again. So he wants to build off of that and continue the franchise going. So Shane Black is an interesting director. He actually had a little cameo role in the original film with Arnold Schwarzenegger, so he's definitely someone good to bring on board for something like this. And I like all the Predator movies, so I would love to see a new one for sure. So this was definitely pretty big news out in the last couple of days. Shane Black doing the new Predator film. We have all the fall premiere dates for the latest, for all the new CBS shows, so you can check that out on the Facebook and Twitter page if you're interested in seeing when your favorite show might be returning over on CBS. The new Coen Brothers film, Hail Caesar, starring George Clooney, they have also added Channing Tatum, Tilda Swinton, and Ralph Fiennes to the film as well. So that is pretty cool casting there. Although this will probably be a movie that I'll never check out. True Blood returned last week, and it drew a very big opening return. It's definitely in line in the ratings with the previous seasons. It is its final season going on right now. It's official. If you're an American Idol fan, Jennifer Lopez, Keith Urban, and Harry Connick Jr. are joining Ryan Seacrest in returning for the new season. So all the same lineup, all the same judges, coming back for another season of American Idol. The new TV show Rising Star premiered, did really, really well, and also had over 5 million votes sent in during its premiere last Sunday. This is the new singing show that is done with basically using an app. You download an app on your phone or your tablet, and you vote live. And if enough people vote for a singer when they're singing, this big wall gets raised, and they get to move on in the competition. So it's a pretty cool interactive show, and they're saying over 5 million people downloaded the app and voted in that premiere episode, which is really damn good. Lisa Kudrow's Web Therapy returns on October 22nd over on Showtime. We have the new trailer for the new Brad Pitt movie, Fury. It's a new tank World War II war movie. Looks okay, just not my type of film. War Games is going to get a remake, and they just hired a writer to take it on. So yeah, I don't really remember War Games too much. I remember seeing it as a kid, but I don't even know if I could tell you what happens in that film. John Turturro wants to direct a Big Lebowski spinoff about Jesus, and he wants to do it next year, so he's not trying to waste any time on that. We released the first video, which is the teaser for the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, and it's President Snow addressing Panem in the teaser trailer, so pretty cool little one there. Speaking of Shane Black, who I just told you was going to do the new Predator movie, Shane Black is also looking to adapt the comic Doc Savage for a big screen movie, and he had a meeting with Chris Hemsworth, Thor himself, about taking on the role of Doc Savage. I love the sound of that. I'm a big Chris Hemsworth fan. This dude is an awesome actor, and I never really knew what Doc Savage was, but looking into it and what that character is, I could totally see Chris Hemsworth doing that, so that's awesome. Denzel Washington's new movie, The Equalizer, which comes out in September, is now going to get released in IMAX, so congratulations there, because I love me some IMAX. We posted the Dumb and Dumber International trailer. It's pretty much the first trailer all over again, with a couple new scenes added in. We've also released the premiere dates for the CW, which, has Arrow and the new Flash TV show and everything like that, so you can take a look at the schedule for the CW over on the Facebook and Twitter page. Jason Sudeikis is going to be joining Owen Wilson and Zach Galifianakis in the new Armored Car comedy. I like the sound of this, and I love that whole cast, man. Jason Sudeikis, Owen Wilson, and Zach Galifianakis. Hell yeah, sign me up for that. That sounds good to me. Ben Kingsley is joining Disney's Jungle Book, so that is pretty cool. Right there. We posted the trailer for that new Seth Rogen, James Franco movie, The Interview, and now North Korea is vowing retaliation if they release this new movie. Who knows what to really take out of this, but I would expect the country to kind of act like this, because the movie's about the assassination of Kim Jong-un. So I would take that they didn't like the sound of this movie coming out, but what are they gonna do? Rod Rob Dyrdek has inked a new multi-year deal over at MTV. He's going to be also bringing back the Fantasy Factory. Dean Devlin has explained in a new interview why him and Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich, they are rebooting Stargate, and we talked about this, I think, on the last show or maybe the show before. And people were wondering, since they were the original duo behind the original Stargate film, why reboot? Why not just do a sequel? And he explains that they didn't have the right budget, and they didn't get to do a lot of scenes that they wanted to do in the original film. And he says that there were so many TV shows and this and that came out in the Stargate universe after the first film that they don't want to attach on to that. So they have an idea for a trilogy, and they just want to do the whole slate from scratch to start off clean and fresh. So I think it's interesting, and I like that they want to just see their vision completed the way that they intended it to be in the original. We have an exclusive first look. It's a little mini picture of Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron from the Mad Max movie. They're on the Entertainment Weekly cover. Mad Max is a movie that's been being made for the last several years, and it's been gone back and forth for reshoots and this and that, and it's one of these ones I felt like it was never going to come out, but they're finally getting close to a finished product. And I love Tom Hardy, and of course love Charlize Theron, and looking forward to this new Mad Max. And the cover got me definitely more excited for this. Insidious Chapter 3 has added Dermot Mulroney to the roster. We have the new trailer for Child of God, the new James Franco movie, or James Franco directed movie, I should say. I'm not sure if he stars in it. Got another trailer for Spare Parts. This is a new George Lopez movie. Have the first official trailer for Into the Storm. Into the Storm has only had a teaser all of these months, which has me excited. I like storm movies that just really fuck shit up, and that's definitely what Into the Storm looks like. But this is the first official trailer for that movie. You can check it out. Also in the Everything Wrong With series, we got Everything Wrong With Sinister in 9 minutes or less. Joe Carnahan is going to direct the action thriller Five Against a Bullet for Sony Pictures. Got an interesting article about Jon Favreau. With Jon Favreau, he's talking about Edgar Wright leaving Ant-Man. He talks about Iron Man, and he talks about doing his new Jungle Book movie. So check that out. Benjamin Bratt has signed on to join Ride Along 2. So that's an interesting casting, but welcome, Benjamin Bratt. Eldon Henson has been cast as Foggy Nelson in the Marvel Daredevil Netflix show. So a lot of movement on that front for Daredevil over on Netflix. Frank Darabont is in talks to direct Snow White and the Huntsman 2. This movie will actually just be called The Huntsman, and so far it's only attached to bring back Chris Hemsworth and Charlize Theron. Kristen Stewart is not being invited to return, so I think they're going to be dropping the Snow White part. The movie is slated to just be called The Huntsman. But yeah, Frank Darabont is in talks to direct the film. Got a really cool video. We just celebrated the 25th anniversary of the original Batman movie. God damn, man, I hate when I space shit on the fly. The Tim Burton Batman movie starring Michael Keaton, and so definitely check out that really cool tribute video for the Tim Burton Batman film. Love that movie. Alright, here's some more big news for you, and I know a lot of people are stoked about this. It's finally official. Pacific Rim 2 is happening, and it will be released on April 7th, 2017. I liked Pacific Rim a lot for the action scenes. The movie itself was pretty cheesy. The acting was pretty cheesy. I didn't care much about any of the other stuff. But man, when the robots and the monsters were on screen fighting, that movie was badass. And It's been a movie that has gone back and forth. People have been wanting a sequel, but the movie was so expensive they didn't think it was going to make enough money to make a sequel. They really needed it to cross $400 million worldwide to make it profitable, and I think it made 411. So it barely crossed where they needed it to be. I think it's done really well on DVD and Blu-ray sales, so it's been enough, and Legendary Pictures has gone ahead and given the thumbs up, and you're going to get it. Pacific Rim 2, April 7th, 2017. Roberto Orsi, who's going to be taking over directing duties on Star Trek 3, says that Star Trek 3 will take place in deep space, and that, the crew is going to be on to their, journey, into the final, frontier. And, so you'll get some classic Star Trek stuff, that he says will closer resemble the TV show than the first two movies have. Since it's a Transformers weekend, we got to talk about Shia LaBeouf, who has nothing to do with Age of Extinction, but he was arrested in Hollywood over the weekend for interrupting some kind of Broadway show. What a dumbass, man. This dude is so screwed. Sherry Shepard and Jenny McCarthy are leaving The View. Doug Liman is in talks to direct a Victory remake over at Warner Brothers. HBO's Scorsese Mick Jagger pilot adds Mick's son, Andrew Dice Clay, and 6 other people to the cast. You can check out that article on the page. Karate Kid 2 has landed some new writers. Yes, it will still star Jaden Smith. So, Karate Kid 2 still coming. We have another new trailer, and I'm really excited about this trailer. Been knowing this movie was coming. I knew a trailer was going to drop soon because they just released the movie poster for it. Luke Evans has a new movie coming out called Dracula Untold. And we saw this trailer for the very first time released before Transformers Age of Extinction. And I was like, this movie would probably be pretty cool, but I'm kind of like, about it. Then this trailer came out. Holy crap. This is an origin story about how Dracula came to be who he is now. He's a great warrior. He's trying to protect his family. He makes kind of like a deal with the devil. He becomes Dracula, and then becomes cursed, so to speak. This looked amazing. I mean, oh my God, the visuals, the action, the fighting, the bats. He just like turns into a flock of bats, and he wipes out like all of these like warriors, and it looks so good, man, and I love Luke Evans. I mean, he's going to be the new Crow in the Crow reboot that's going to come out next year, and I'm super stoked about that because The Crow is one of my all-time favorite movies, and I think Luke Evans is going to do an amazing job. I don't know if he can ever touch Brandon Lee, but he's going to do an amazing job with this, and I've been looking forward to him getting his own starring vehicle. He was the bad guy in Fast 6, and he did great in that. And he's always in like a lot of these little side characters, like he was in Immortals, and he always pops up here and there. But Dracula Untold is a great opportunity to really launch this dude into his own. And I was just so floored with this trailer. When I saw Transformers again for the second time today, I was so happy to get to see this trailer on the IMAX screen again. So good. We also have a trailer for the new Bruce Willis movie called The Prince. We have another trailer for Life After Beth. It's a new Aubrey Plaza and Anna Kendrick movie. Production has been delayed on the new James Bond movie due to script rewrites. Uh-oh. So yes, no official release date as of yet, but they are delaying the film. Mark Ruffalo has stated that the whole Avengers cast is going to be showing up at San Diego Comic-Con next month, so that is pretty cool news. I'm sure Marvel is going to love bringing them all out together. It's what they did at Comic-Con the year before Avengers came out. And it'll be interesting to see, and they're going to definitely debut the very first footage ever of Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. Jason Bateman is going to be starring in and directing a new FBI wedding comedy for Universal Pictures. I like the sound of it already. I love Jason Bateman. I will definitely be on board for this one. Let's see here. Alright, the new season of Doctor Who returns August 23rd. So check that out if you are a Doctor Who fan. August 23rd will be that. 20th Century Fox is looking to do a reboot of The Omen. I don't know if we need another Omen, but yeah, I don't know. It's a little much for me. Pretty cool news. Amy Adams was on a flight the other day, and there was a U.S. soldier in second class, and she actually went to him and said, I would love to trade seats with you, and thank you for your service and all of that. And she traded seats with him. She gave the guy her first class seat, and she went and sat in coach. So very cool move on Amy Adams' part. Shows you some Hollywood people still do have class. Transformers Age of Extinction launched to over $90 million in China. It's China's biggest opening of all time. That is pretty damn awesome. Also, $303 million worldwide in its opening weekend. Oh, so amazing, and I'm so proud of my Transformers franchise for that. Let's see here. We're just about done with the news. We got the full list of the BET 2014 awards. You can check out that list. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can check out the list if you're interested on the Facebook and the Twitter page. On Twitter today, the first picture of Henry Cavill as Clark Kent. It's a publicity shot, and he doesn't have the glasses on or anything. It's just him kind of in a suit and a jacket. He's on set of Batman v Superman, and he's actually took the picture for a charity thing, but it went like viral everywhere today on Twitter and Facebook and everything. So you can see that picture on the website. It's pretty cool. One idea that everybody's been looking for, if you're a big fan of the Hulk, it always comes up, is a Planet Hulk film. Well, Mark Ruffalo today smashed that idea and said, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. He says, Marvel, and we've already heard of this before about Marvel, that Marvel loves the idea of Bruce Banner. They love that character, and you need a Bruce Banner in the movie of a Hulk. And a Planet Hulk film is 100% Hulk, just on another planet fighting an alien race. So he says, don't look for that to happen anytime soon. So kind of goes along with what I was already expecting. Dennis Leary is returning to FX. He is going to be in a new comedy series called Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. Andy Serkis, the news came out today. He, of course, plays Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movies. He was Gollum in the Lord of the Rings movies. Best guy in motion capture business. News came out today that he's going to be playing a character in Avengers Age of Ultron. So they're not announcing who he's going to be, but he's going to be someone. And it's pretty cool because we had heard that he was actually on set with Avengers and he was helping Mark Ruffalo do CG for Hulk. Because Mark Ruffalo is doing a lot more motion capture with the Hulk this go around. And Andy Serkis was kind of mentoring him and helping him do it, and now they're saying that Andy Serkis is going to actually play his own character in the movie, so that's cool. Very excited about that. The Terminator reboot / sequel may actually be dropping the Genesis subtitle. According to some reports that they've seen, the early licensing for toys and marketing stuff does not say Terminator Genesis, it just says The Terminator. So it looks like they might be dropping all of that and just calling the film Terminator. Bryan Singer teased the X-Men Apocalypse script today over on Instagram. He shows like a little paragraph of the first page of the script, and you can't really make anything out of it. The only words that you really pick up on out of the whole thing is the Four Horsemen, which of course ties to Apocalypse and everything that they're doing in the film. So it's getting exciting. Very excited to see where they end up taking this Apocalypse film. Tom Hardy will be joining Leonardo DiCaprio in a new Western movie called The Revenant. So I don't like the sounds of a Western, but Tom Hardy is always a good addition to any project. It's finally official for all you Community fans. Community will be returning for a Season 6 over on Yahoo. Yes, Yahoo. Yahoo! Season 6 for the Community was canceled by NBC. And then Hulu said they were in discussions and they were thinking about bringing it over to Hulu, and then they passed on it. So Yahoo has jumped on the board and they said, we'll take it. So it's official, the whole cast is coming back, and Community will return for season 6 over on Yahoo. Johnny Depp's new movie, based on the character Whitey Bulger, is going to be set for a fall 2015 release date. And, sorry, bear with me, I think I'm just trying to make sure. Oh, and lastly, 2 more trailers. Got a new trailer for The Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby. It's a new movie starring James McAvoy and Jessica Chastain. And a new trailer for The Skeleton Twins, which is a movie starring Kristen Wiig and Bill Hader. And that, my friends, is your news of the past 2 weeks. So, thanks for hearing me ramble about that. Let's jump on over to box office and release dates, and then wrap this baby up for the night. On DVD and Blu-ray this week is nothing. Yes, there is no big releases coming out tomorrow on DVD or Blu-ray. There's TV shows and all that kind of stuff, but no big movie releases. In theaters on Friday is going to be Tammy, the new Melissa McCarthy movie, Deliver Us from Evil, and Earth to Echo. So those are your 3 releases this week, which means that Transformers will probably still dominate. And your weekend box office. Coming in at number 10 is Chef. Number 9 is X-Men Days of Future Past. Did I even say what Chef made? I'm sorry. I think I'm starting to get delirious and tired here as I go through this. And I popped out my charging cable of my laptop. Okay, sorry about that. I'm getting distracted. So, let me back up a second. Number 10 is Chef with 1.6 million. Number 9 is X-Men Days of Future Past with 3.3 million. Number 8 is The Fault in Our Stars with 4.8 million. Number 7 is Edge of Tomorrow with 5.2 million. Number 6 is Jersey Boys with 7.6 million. Number 5 is Maleficent with 8.2 million. Number 4 is Think Like a Man 2 with 10.4 million. Number 3 is How to Train Your Dragon 2 with 13.1 million. Number 2 is 22 Jump Street with 15.4 million. And your number 1 movie is Transformers Age of Extinction with $100 million. It is the first debut of the year to hit the $100 million mark. It surpasses the highest of the year, which was Captain America the Winter Soldier, which was sitting at $95 million. So congratulations to Transformers with $100 million domestically, another $202 million internationally, for a total of $302 million worldwide in 3 days. The Transformers. And that, my friends, is going to wrap us up for the night. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Thank you for being patient while we worked on getting this new episode together. I hope you've been enjoying the Am I Still on the Airs, because I'm enjoying doing them for the spoiler-filled reviews. So far this summer, we have done X-Men Days of Future Past, we've done Edge of Tomorrow, we've done 22 Jump Street, and now we've done Transformers Age of Extinction. So go on over, listen to those Am I Still on the Airs if you're a fan of any of those movies and you want to hear some good talk about it. Thank you for tuning in. I want to shout out my affiliates, of course, reddragonsradio.com, where you can listen to all these great podcasts like Am I on the Air, This Week with the Geek. Inside the Ropes is a show on there, but that show's actually gone on a hiatus, so I don't know when that's going to be returning. We also do the Pro Wrestling Nation podcast, and coming soon, the People's Forum with For My Peoples. And thanks, I want to shout out the nerdemporium.com, where we are in syndication and affiliation with them. Check out our official site. It's amiontheair.com. You can listen to our show, you can listen to the Am I Still on the Airs, you can look at movie reviews, you can check out the box office, you can look and watch all the latest trailers. It's a great website to check out. It's always updated. It's amiontheair.com. So please like us on Facebook, facebook.com/amiontheair. Follow us on Twitter @amiontheair. Follow me on Twitter @dxdonmega. You can download, rate, and subscribe to us over on iTunes. We'd really, really appreciate that. You can listen to us on the go over on Stitcher Radio. So that is cool. We should be up and running on TuneIn, but I haven't touched it yet. We were on there before, and then something stopped syncing, so I emailed them a couple weeks ago to get it fixed. I would hope it'd be fixed by now, but, so if you like the TuneIn website, you can try searching for us, and maybe you'll see the episodes on there, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, we are everywhere on the World Wide Web, and you can, like us and follow us in our circles over on Google+. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We are everywhere. So thank you once again. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you were up to speed with all the latest in entertainment news. My name is Don Mega. I appreciate you, and I will catch you next time on a brand new edition of Am I on the Air? Peace.